Welcome to the channel. Today, we will analyze some of the new members of the Dallas Cowboys who might not make the final roster for 2024. We will discuss which players are facing an uphill battle to secure their spots and what this means for the future of the team. So, if you're a Cowboys fan and want to stay updated on all the news and analysis, this video is for you. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell to receive alerts for new videos every day. Your subscription is very important to us and helps bring more quality content to you. Let's follow this exciting Cowboys journey together. New Cowboys who might not make the 2024 roster. Some of the newer members of the Dallas Cowboys may not be part of the final roster when all is said and done. As quiet as this offseason has been for the Cowboys, they still have about 90 players heading to training camp at the end of this month. This means around 35 guys won't make the final list, and some of them might be free agents or rookie draftees facing a numbers crunch at their positions. Today, we'll look at some new players we've discussed this offseason and perhaps even considered favorites to make the team when they were originally acquired. But based on other transactions since then, whether they signed before the draft or some other free agency move, their job security has taken a major hit. Or, if nothing else, despite the hype upon arrival, their grip on roster spots isn't as firm as you might think. Royce Freeman. 2 weeks before the Cowboys reunited with Ezekiel Elliott, they signed Freeman for potential depth and a short yardage option. The 28-year-old veteran seemed to have a clear path to the roster when he arrived, but now feels redundant after Zeke's return. Rico Dowdle also has plenty of power in his game, plus FB Hunter Luepke in the mix. At this point, Freeman is here just as a camp body and injury insurance. Caelen Carson. Despite being a fifth-round pick, some already have Carson as CB4 and potentially pushing Jordan Lewis for snaps. It's certainly possible, but there's also a chance the rookie might struggle in competition with returning prospects like Israel Mukuamu, Nahshon Wright, and Eric Scott. Special teams will be a factor, and while Carson has good experience there, so do Mukuamu and Wright. We expect the rookie to make the roster, but ask 2019 fifth-round pick Michael Jackson how his first Cowboys camp went. WR Ryan Flournoy, OL Nathan Thomas, and DT Justin Rogers, gesture. Late-round picks are hardly guaranteed roster spots, so we have to look at all these 6th and 7th-round guys. While all have legitimate chances, some scenarios could send any of them to the waiver wire. Flournoy has exciting athletic potential and generated buzz during spring camps, but we've seen this many times with rookie WR prospects. John Vea Johnson comes to mind as a recent offseason sensation who crumbled when the competition showed up. Jalen Brooks isn't slouching in the WR mix this year, and there are some returning prospects like Jalen Cropper and David Durden to watch out for. Flournoy needs to keep the hype train full steam ahead to make it to September. Thomas joins the offensive line during a transition period, but also with many other options. The Cowboys are hardly married to guys like Chuma Edoga and Asim Richards, but you can only carry so many depth GT players. You need to have a strong camp to beat out more experienced players. Similarly, Rodgers enters the defensive tackle competition without much competition, but enough to make it interesting. Veteran Carl Davis and undrafted rookie Denzel Daxon will fight for depth spots, and if Dallas keeps only 4 tackles, there might be a tough cut among them. Davis is probably on the shakiest ground at 32, but his experience advantage will help mitigate that. Gareon Conley. Despite his former first-round pedigree, Conley is now 29 and hasn't played an NFL snap since the 2019 playoffs. He's facing the same logjam at CB we discussed earlier with Carson and has played very little on special teams during his career. He's an underdog at best, and even that's probably too generous. LB Willie Harvey Jr. Harvey has an easier path as a linebacker, but not by much. There's a clear quartet of Eric Kendricks, Damone Clark, DeMarvion Overshone, and rookie Marist Liufau, who will make the team. Then you have veteran Damian Wilson, who quietly returned to Dallas late last season and was re-signed in April. Add in some younger prospects like Buddy Johnson, Brock Mogensen, and Jason Johnson, and there are definitely more bodies than roster spots. Harvey might have had a great season for the St. Louis Battlehawks, but he'll be lucky to make the practice squad here. The Dallas Cowboys face tough decisions every year to trim their roster to the 53-player limit, and the 24 season will be no different. Besides the names mentioned, there will be fierce battles at various positions. Training and preseason games will be crucial for these players to demonstrate their worth. The wide receiver position is always a minefield, with many talented players competing for a few spots. Flournoy, for instance, needs to show consistency in catches and explosive plays, while Thomas on the offensive line must prove he can adapt to the demands of the Cowboys game. The defensive backfield will also be an area of intense focus. Conley will have to show he still has the agility and coverage skills that made him a first-round pick, while Carson will have to overcome the challenges that come with transitioning from college football to the NFL. For the linebackers, depth and versatility are essential. Harvey will need to show he can contribute not only on defense, but also on special teams, an often decisive area for players on the roster bubble. Finally, special teams competition can be the deciding factor for many of these players. Exceptional performances on special teams can secure a spot on the final roster, even if the player isn't an immediate starter at their primary position. And that was our video today about the new members of the Dallas Cowboys and their chances of making the final 2024 roster. I hope you enjoyed our analysis and predictions. If you have any opinions or think we forgot to mention someone, leave your comment below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell to receive alerts for new videos every day. Your subscription helps us continue bringing quality content to you. And if you like this video, be sure to like and share it with your friends. Personally, I believe the competition will be fierce this year, especially in critical positions like wide receiver and cornerback. It will be interesting to see who stands out and secures a spot on the final roster. Stay tuned and see you next time.